And welcome back, everyone. Good day to you. I'm Adam Petrus, along here with my colleague, Hale Henches. And boy, today on Chalk Talk, we are going to have a great conversation. And, we're going to be talking with a player who ESPN's Mel Kiper said was the most underrated player of the 2024 NFL Draft, Mr. TJ Tampa. Now, TJ is an All-American, All-Big 12 first-team cornerback out of Iowa State University who's picked up by the Baltimore Ravens. So all you Raven fans out there, you guys are in for a treat today and this year. And so fourth-round draft pick, despite experts' predictions that he would go on day 2. Now, they say everything happens for a reason, TJ, and I truly believe that this may be a blessing in disguise because I think what you're going to be able to do is show everybody what's up as you go into training camp and then, of course, into the season. But, Hale and I were talking in a way it's reminiscent of Mr. Tom Brady's entrance into the NFL many moons ago. Now, wouldn't you say, Hale?
Yes, no, absolutely. And great points there, Adam. Much like Tom Brady, right, TJ, all you need is a shot, right? I was in a similar position as yourself. You just need an opportunity to make that roster, and certainly you have a good one there in Baltimore with a great team, great head coach. TJ, over to you. How's it feel, my man? Are you ready to rock the NFL?
Yeah, I've been waiting for a while now. Now that I'm here, I'm definitely ready. I know that I'm ready. I'm confident going into it and just ready to work and get that roster spot.
That's it,
That's
man.
Awesome. That's awesome. And so, hey, you're in the B-More here today talking to us. Lots of activity here in the NFL world. So let's take it back, though. So you're sort of a Florida boy like me. I happen to be on the road today, but I know you weren't there for your entire childhood, but you graduated out of high school in St. Petersburg after spending many years up in Hotlanta. And I know you went to college in Iowa, but are you ready for those Baltimore Winters?
Yeah, I would say I'm ready. When I moved to Iowa, it wasn't too bad to get used to it. You just throw a coat on and you're good to go. You're not really outside for too much. Practice, it's an indoor, but you go outside to practice. At the end of the day, you're just playing football.
That's it. All right, man. So tell us, how has the transition been from draft day to now reporting? What is life like for TJ Tampa?
Life is good. Going through rookie minicamp, of course, it's just all rookies. You get to see all the rookies and compete against them. And I had a good rookie minicamp. I feel like I got better, which led into OTAs, which I feel like I was ready for. I performed really well. Got to meet some of the new players and got to meet some of the vets and everything. So it went really good.
Awesome. That's great, TJ. And, one thing that I always thought of and what people told me as I was making that transition from college to the NFL was how much more of a mental step up it was from college. And certainly you're a smart guy and you'll pick up on it quick. But, talk to the viewers a little bit about just that transition from college playbooks, understanding college offenses to now having to dissect, what people like the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow are going to do. How does that make you feel, and are you ready for that transition?
Yeah, the transition with the playbooks is definitely a big transition. This is a wider playbook. In college, They try to simplify everything to make it to where you can learn it pretty fast. In the NFL, they kind of shoot everything at you straight, and it's either you pick up on it or you don't. And just using that extra time, chilling at home and going over the playbook, it helps a lot. But yeah,
Awesome.
There's definitely a lot of adjustment to the playbook, but it's going really good.
Yeah, and one thing you mentioned too was, just learning from some veterans, right? Making some friends, and certainly a great player up there at the Baltimore Ravens is Marlon Humphrey, a guy who I played with at Alabama. Talk a little bit about Marlon, and maybe is he one of the guys that's taken you under his wing at an early time?
He's definitely a vet coming off an injury. He's been around, just getting a lot of rehab, and you get to see his schedule and how he's taking care of his body and just putting that within my schedule. He's helping a lot.
Good.
That's great. So with Zebra, I've had the pleasure and the honor of co-managing the NFL Next Gen Stats program for 5 years prior to the role that I have here within sports entertainment as a sub-vertical of North America Hospitality. And so I had the opportunity to travel to many of the various training facilities in the National Football League. And I've got to tell you, and folks listening, watching today, if you've never been to Baltimore, to the Baltimore Ravens campus, if you will, or chalet, you are in for a real treat. Now, TJ, you get drafted by the Ravens. You show up at their facility, man. Will you just describe what that facility is like?
Man, it's like to see. Honestly, it looks like a castle. One of my dad's friends was telling me about it and how he said it's really crazy. It's one of the best, and I've never been. So just getting to see it in person, it's like, okay, like they really take time and effort into making it good for us to have some place that we can call home. And we be there most of the day anyway, so it's good that they take care of us.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it is truly an impressive site. And I'm sure there's going to be some folks Googling Baltimore Ravens practice facility. But it is really something special. Definitely very fortunate for you, certainly, to be drafted in the NFL. Dream come true. Give us a little bit of just insight about how long are the days or actually before that is when you got ready for the combine and then the draft, what was that process like for you? What was your mental state of mind?
My mental state was just taking it day by day and getting better every day, trying to take my times down just a little bit each day. Even when times aren't going too good, just keep going and keep fighting, really. It can get stressful when you don't make time certain days, but you just keep pushing. But the days I was training at Exos for the combine, the days are pretty chill. Like you work out in the morning, come back for a lift, and then you got a lot of time. What you can work on your body, then there's a lot of field work going on. So the days weren't too bad, but you're definitely working.
Yeah, absolutely. And certainly took great advantage of that. And I know that's a great program over there and have had a lot of mutual friends who have gone through it. So that's fantastic. You got to do it. And I think one thing, TJ, about being successful in the NFL is really understanding your weaknesses. Certainly, playing to the strengths that you have, which are a lot. But talk to a little bit about, hey, you've had a couple practices, you've gone through mini camp. Where do you feel like you need to go next to take your game to the next level?
Yeah, coming into a new team, a new organization, all of that, you really want to come in like open to hearing and changing anything you have done because you're not doing things like your coach wants to in college. You're entering a new atmosphere, a new coaching staff, and you want to figure out how they want things to be done. So just really focusing on that and trying to perfect that each day. That's really what I took with the OTAs and mini camp, just trying to figure out how my coach wants things done.
Nice. Now, so our producer, Sarah, put some notes together for us, TJ, and I understand that we've had some Zebra cameras following you around, since the draft, and we're able to capture that special moment. But I understand you grew up in an athletic household. Your dad and sister played college basketball. You played basketball. You've been a dual sport athlete since the age of 9. So have you found the learning curve transitioning to professional sports to be easier, having so much exposure to different athletes throughout your years? What has that been like for you?
I would say it's a little easier just being around a lot of different people that are in a lot of different sports. So when you come in the locker room, it's not like you've never been in a locker room where you didn't know anybody. And especially with me moving early, just getting used to a lot of different people and a lot of different personalities, it's easier for me to be able to mesh with those guys and spark a relationship with them and really them making them trust me and I trust them so we can get on the field and play well.
There you go. Hey, so in the Baltimore, how far away are you living from the facility?
Oh, right now I'm in the team hotel. It's about 9 minutes away. Okay,
man. So it's team time 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Awesome, man. No, that's great. And speaking of other sports, and you talked about growing up. That's great. And one sport that I played a lot of growing up outside of football was golf, and certainly know the benefit to that. And TJ, did you know that golf is the official sport of business? If you want to go into business someday, not that you'll need to, because you're gonna have a long career in the NFL, but knowing how to play golf is certainly a benefit that I think you can do some great business on the golf course. But I heard you just played golf for the first time. Tell us how that went, my man.
Yes, like I've been to Top Golf before, but I never course. And I could never hit the ball on Top Golf. I never really tried, but when I did, I couldn't. But my first time actually golfing, I did really well. Got some pointers from my teammates, and
good.
The best thing is I was consistently making contact with the ball, which was
There you go.
the best thing. We were playing best ball, and they played my ball maybe like twice, so I felt good about that.
There you go. Nice, man.
All right.
That's awesome. I always tell people golf is the toughest sport physically and mentally because one small critique is going to change your shot drastically. You know, obviously in football, if you take a 7-inch step versus an 8-inch step, it might not, you could still be okay, right? In golf, that's the difference between hitting it out of bounds and hitting it in the fairway. So it's a tough sport, and kudos to you for venturing out and doing it because it'll serve you for a long time. My grandpa's 85 and still plays every day. So you continue to play, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get better.
That's it, man. That's lessons to live by, right? Always want to get better. And certainly you've got a hyper focus right now. You are in football mode. It's no longer off season. You've been drafted. You've reported. We're going to be going into the summer, campaign and program. But as you look at going into each phase of the football season, are you setting some expectations for yourself and some benchmarks of where you want to be come week one?
Of course, like just setting my standards on practice every day, just making sure I'm giving 100% effort. I'm getting better at one thing each practice, focusing on one thing of practice and getting better at that. And yeah, by the time game one hits, then I definitely want to be at a certain point. And throughout the whole season, just keep setting goals for myself.
Awesome. And TJ talked about this. Certainly when I was entering the league, I had, visions or maybe nightmares of having to block people, right? Like JJ Watt and people like that. That I'm like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. I'm going to potentially have to go against this person, right? But certainly you're on the other side of the ball. Talk about some receivers or quarterbacks, that you're looking forward to playing against, or maybe you're not looking forward to playing against.
I would say there's not really anybody I'm just not looking forward to play.
That's good.
There we
Good
go.
mindset.
Yes.
I'm excited to play everybody.
Bring it.
Of course, a lot of receivers. Of course, my old teammates. Some that I want to go against, like Xavier. But some receivers that I got to look at the schedule again to see if we play them. But I definitely want to go against Stephon Diggs. That's I want to line up against. I feel like I can name a lot, but I'm really, really excited to go against some. Hopefully we go against Brock. That's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Hopefully go.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That'd be something if you can get an interception against Brock Purdy. That would be some great bragging rights there for you.
We'll see them down the line.
There you go. Good, man. Well, that's awesome. Certainly got some tough competition over there in the AFC North, but not a better conference to play in, and certainly one of the powerhouses of the NFL. So great way to get your career started. Hey,
so tell us about what number are you going to be rocking this year with the Ravens?
Yeah, I'm rocking number 27 this year.
The old 27.
I feel like it was a nice number.
Okay. So in college, I believe number 2?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And what was the significance behind number 2?
There was a couple things you can say. Like I'm a junior, that's number 2. The Tampa 2 coverage, just with my last name. Some things like that. So kind of incorporated with the brand and everything. So.
Yeah, that's actually really solid reasons. Like I never had a good reason why, other than playing tight end and wearing a number in the 80s. I've never had a good reason for that, man. That's like multifaceted. I respect that. That's good. Yeah,
and you know what I'm thinking, Hale, because we got to get into this Zebra connection that TJ has. But TJ, right now we just released a device called the TC27, and I think the TJ Tampa TC27 is a best-in-class next-gen device that's going to be delivering some results on the football field. But TJ, why don't you tell us a little bit of background about you, the family, and how you first came to know about Zebra?
Yeah, so my dad, I think when we were living in Atlanta, he was working for Coke and Coca-Cola in their warehouses. They were using some of Zebra Technologies devices to track like packages and trucks and everything. So that's when I first heard about it.
That's awesome. I think it's a really cool connection that Zebra has in the age of the NIL. That we've got a player out there who knows about Zebra, family roots and story, and certainly our listening audience is Zebra employees, friend of Zebra's, customers of Zebra, and for them to know that we've got somebody out there who's an advocate, ambassador for Zebra Technologies is a pretty cool story. And again, I think we might have to shift you out your own TC27 and get that in the locker, and you can be the spokesman in and around Baltimore for best in class technology. Hale, what do you think?
That sounds like the plan, man. I got one right here for you. I'll hold it up to the camera. There you go. This can have your name on it, my friend. But no, that's fantastic, TJ. And awesome that your dad used the device. And certainly there are millions of workers around the world who are using it to enhance their lives. Frontline workers to managers, to store associates, to people in hospitals who are having their lives enhanced by our technology. And it's great that you experienced that firsthand. But let's take a bigger step back, if you will. When TJ is 37 years old, right, hanging your hat on a good career, maybe longer than that, right? What are you going to look back on? What are going to be the things that make you say, man, I really did everything I wanted to do. I had a great career. What would that look like to you? What accomplishments, Super Bowls, MVPs? What does that look like for you?
I mean, of course, everybody wants the Super Bowls, all pros, everything, and that's something that will be. Like, if I get those, then hey, my career has been successful and everything. But in the whole heart of things, really just look back and say I did everything I could. I worked hard every day. I never got complacent throughout my career. I gave it as many years as I could. And whenever I'm done, starting a family, making sure my family is straight, and generations before me, and now I feel like I was successful.
It's fantastic, and certainly a great response, and one that I think everyone at Zebra can resonate with. And as people at Zebra probably understand, but the NFL football is a game, right? And it gives and it takes. And there are certainly people who have fantastic careers, and there are many people who go on to work in the workforce. But TJ, what you're talking about and the things that you said, you have the right mindset that's going to carry you a long way, and certainly that's, in my opinion, about 70% of it. And your talent is going to be that other 30%. You're going to do a great job. But no, man, it's fantastic. Great response. And I think everyone can learn from that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And so, hey, the other neat thing, of course, about Zebra, and Hale and I get the rocket all the time, is that we've got this formal partnership with the NFL as the official provider of player and ball tracking that supports Next Gen Stats. You've been a longtime football fan. Have you ever dabbled or looked at the Next Gen Stats data and been like, man, that dude's fast, or the ability to create separation, man, you got to tighten up on this guy? How have you been exposed to data coming up out of college, and of course what Next Gen Stats puts out?
Yeah, seeing it on watching games and everything, just seeing how fast people are, how fast the ball is going, the amount of distance people are creating from people. It's always exciting to see, and you see it and you like, dang, I wonder how fast I'm going. And then being able to see that throughout my process with Zebra, seeing how fast I'm going, and then seeing it on TV, it's like a dream come true again, like just watching everything come to life.
Right. And I think one thing, wearing the technology and practicing and playing, and you certainly personally how fast you're running, and then you start to match that up with the data. Oh, I hit 22 miles per hour today. I hit 23. When you're having good days, and you can compare that with the times. For me, it was probably 14 or 15 miles per hour, but that's why I'm here and you're there, my friend. But that's fantastic that you're getting to get that instant feedback. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's been such a great partnership, because you can validate those things and take the vision of the NFL, this technology-driven machine now that it is, and really validate, hey, our players are moving quickly, they're recovering correctly, they are doing the right things, and we can see that with raw data, right?
TJ, are you seeing some of that already now with the Ravens through camp, where you guys are looking not only at the video, but then looking at some of the real-time data that comes through at the practice facility?
Of course, and we get to see it in our weight room. We have leaderboards that show up on the screens, and being able to see where I'm at based off of everybody on the team is really good. Seeing your name up there, you feel like it's something at practice.
There you go. No doubt, man. A great way to stand out. And, speaking of standing out, I think a great way for a lot of Zebras to kind of carve their path and figure out, where do I want to go with my career? What do I want to do? Is through mentorship, right? And that's one thing that, Adam and I have certainly sought out mentors in our career. And have benefited from that. But talk a little bit about mentorship with the Ravens. I mean, we talked about Marlon Humphrey, but are there any other veterans or people that you're looking to be that mentor for you, and what are you trying to take from them?
Yeah, really, a lot of the DBs, they ask questions to them like every day at practice, just trying to figure out exactly what coach wants and how they've been running things. Any advice I need, I just go to any of the corners or nickels or safeties, anybody. They're all willing to help, open hands, and I'm happy that we have some good vets and they're willing to teach.
Fantastic, man. That's great. Yeah, a great response, and certainly important for you to latch on to those guys. And 2 or 3 years down the road, you'll be doing it for rookies, being their mentor. So the cycle continues, right?
Definitely.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. Let's see here. I was going to see if we were going to quiz you on some Zebra technology terminology, but I think we'll give you a pass on this podcast. But I think we're going to want to circle back during the season when you get a few moments. But certainly, man, it was an honor to have you on the show today. We thoroughly enjoyed your candor and the fact you're working hard. You're tied and associated to Zebra. You've got a great story. I think Hale and I are certainly believing that we're on the cusp of being able to one day, many moons from now, come back and say, man, we had TJ Tampa on the show before he was TJ number 27 Tampa, rocking it in the NFL, all pro. Certainly you're playing for a team that has always been competitive. As Hale mentioned, you've got a Hall of Fame coach. You've got a great ownership there that empowers the team, the players. So, look, man, we wish you the best of luck and stay healthy. Certainly do your thing. We'll all be watching the leaderboard when it comes to next-gen stats, looking at the cornerbacks and defensive backs around the NFL. But, look, don't be a stranger. And we hope to have you on the show again later in the year. And, man, we'll leave it to you. Any parting words for our audience today?
Thanks for letting me come on here and speak to you guys. I had a good time.
Fantastic. And thank you, TJ, for coming on, and best of luck with training camp. I know you guys are about ready to, pick it up hot and heavy here in about a month or so, but best of luck to you, my friend. Always welcome here on the podcast. And I encourage our listeners too, please check out our previous podcast where we sat down with Coach Sean Payton to talk a little bit of ball and X's and O's, just like we did here with TJ. So best of luck, TJ. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And for Zebra Chalk Talk, I am Hale Hentges.
And I am Adam Petrus, and we are signing off.